weren't able to join us today. So Michelle is from Bespoke Packaging. She started off this packaging business, and it's pretty much a one-stop shop for all wrapping and packaging for gifts and products. So Michelle runs it with her husband and her son, and she's doing a fabulous job. So what we've done today is we've provided some of our products to Michelle and asked her to beautify it for us. Because those of you who've ordered from us before, you'd know that when you receive our products, if you do a pickup, it's generally wrapped in bubble wrap. And if we're sending it out to you, it's a whole heap of bubble wrap and cardboard. And we pretty much do this for just to protect your prints, to ensure that when it does arrive to you, it arrives in perfect condition. And that's the same with when we do the drop ship for your customers as well. So it's not very fancy or anything like that, but that's where we will have Michelle come in, and so I'll put you across to Michelle, and she will run through some of the products and all the different packaging options that is available. So in terms of housekeeping, just to ensure that we don't, take too much of your time today, if you have any questions, can I ask that you just drop us a question or a message in the chat? Hopefully we'll be able to answer most of your questions today within the session, but if not, anything in terms of products, the team at BPro here will be able to get back to you, and any packaging questions, Michelle and her fantastic team will be able to get back to you with that. All right, all yours, Michelle.
Okay, thanks, Hong, and hi everyone. Welcome and thanks for joining us today. I've been super excited to sort of get this together, and like I said, or like Hong said, she sent me a bunch of different products from BPro, and what I thought we'd do today is just go over the different products and some ideas and different things that you can do to just up your packaging game, really. And by doing a few small little things, it really can make a big difference to your clients and how they feel when they're receiving their products. So we'll get started, and like Hong said, if you've got any questions, pop them in the chat, and then because I won't necessarily be able to read that as I'm going, and we can answer your questions along the way, and we can do some questions and stuff as well. So I'm going to be getting up and down, and if people can't see things, also put that in the chat so I can make sure that you get to see everything. So what's your favorite BPro products? Where should we start? Like, who's got a favorite? Do you want to pop it in the chat? Is it the Lumi tiles? Is it prints? Is it canvases? Where or is it the timber prints? Metal prints, okay. Wood prints, yeah. Canvases, okay, cool. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay, I'm going to start with the wood print. And I just want to show you that here. So this is a box. So this, Hong, what size was this wood print? This was a 10 by 10, I think.
12 by 12.
12 by 12, right,
12
yes.
Circle, yes.
Okay, so it's 12 by 12. I'm not going to open it up yet, but I just wanted to show you. So this is the box that we worked out that fitted it best. And we've got printed ribbon on the outside of the box. So you can order your custom printed ribbon. This is like really a must-have for any business. Like it comes in so handy for so many things, and it's amazing what a bit of ribbon can do to your packaging. If you don't do anything else, and I normally say this to guys because they sometimes tend to not be really into making things look nice, a bit of ribbon can make a big difference. So this is like a 36 mil wide ribbon. That's just a length there that I had printed. You can also do a 25 mil wide ribbon, and it just depends on the products that you're offering. You may want to have two. This one here is a sublimated ribbon. So it's you can see that it's got multiple colors on the ribbon for our logo. So that one is a slightly different product, but they're all on our website for anyone that wants to have a look at that. But I just want to show you how I package that. So basically I just tied the ribbon around two corners. So you can see at the back that it was tied around. That's an economical way to tie your ribbon around a box as well, rather than doing the full traditional square that you would traditionally use for ribbon ribbon tie, especially if you've got a big box. It's better to do that. You use less ribbon. So this is how I packaged it inside.
Michelle?
Yeah.
Sorry, just a question from Ina. With the ribbon sizes, can you just give us the width of the ribbon sizes that you had up before?
Okay, so this one here is, this one's a 36 mil wide ribbon. Okay, that's on our website as well. And then the other width was 25 mil wide, which is that one. So you can see that's quite a bit of a difference. And depending on the size of what you're putting it on, sometimes you need to go up to the wider ribbon. Can everyone see that?
Yep, that's good. Thank you.
Okay. So basically I've just tied the ribbon around the box. Another item that I can't live without, and I think it adds to the luxuriousness and the sort of the unwrapping experience that you want to give your clients, is using tissue paper. So I have taken a piece of tissue paper here. I've used, this is one of our custom like pre-printed stickers. So that's a little rose gold many thanks sticker. You can also get stickers, and I will just quickly show you, that have your logo on them. And these are super handy for lots of different things. So there's bigger ones and smaller ones there. There's a whole page of them somewhere here. Okay, here. So again, so these ones here are, oh, sorry, I'm back to front. These ones here are got your metallic prints, so they're a little bit more expensive. The many thanks are a one that we sell. That's our design, so you can just buy them like that and have many thanks. These ones here, you've got like your actual logo design. So these ones here, so you under custom sticker seals. Sorry, I'm getting a bit of glare. I've got a light there to brighten things up. But so you can have your logo printed on those, and then when your client opens your packaging, it's got your logo here. Because maybe you don't have, you know, the printed tissue is an option. It's a minimum of 1,000 sheets for the printed tissue. But, you know, you could start off with plain tissue, which we also sell in packs of 50, so which is a bit more cheaper, and you don't have to buy as much. So then what you want your client to, you know, sort of open this sticker here and lift that open, and that reveals the timber print in the box.
Michelle, would this work for, say, if a client came to pick up, like say they came to the studio to pick up, and would it also be, you could do it for a drop-off or something as well? Yeah,
I think so. Yeah, I think so. This box that these are in, this is actually a very sturdy e-flute style box. So it's actually quite sturdy. Like this is suitable for shipping in. If you wanted to repack it at home before you shipped it to client, or deliver it to the client, you could then, you know, put this box in a bag for them to take home. So if they were coming to the studio to pick it up, you could wrap it up like this so they get that experience. So it's that bit of suspense. And I try to sort of say to people to think about it in layers. So they're actually unpacking or unwrapping this in layers. So you've got the outside, that undo the ribbon.
Just a question there as well. If they want to get onto your website, what's the name of the actual box they're looking for if they wanted to order it?
So I have to actually, this is a box that I actually source specifically for your wood prints. So this isn't on our website yet, but I will put it up on the website. But if anyone is interested in that, they can email me. So info@bespokepackaging.biz, which I think we've got a slide to put up later. And we can quote you a price for that, just until I get a chance. I haven't had a chance to photograph this to actually put it on the website. As you know, it's been a bit hectic lately.
Just as an add-on to that, at the end of the session, because we're doing this as a recording as well, we'll be able to email everybody who's registered and the participants, and we can list down all our products. And then obviously I'll touch base with you, and you can let us know the types of products you use, the ribbons and the tissue paper and stickers and things like that, if they wanted to replicate that same design for presentation at home.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I've tried to sort of reverse engineer this. So obviously they're going to unwrap their ribbon on the outside, undo that. They're going to open this up. They're going to open up the tissue and they see their print. So they've got those layers. So does everyone sort of understand with the layers? It just creates that bit of suspense and that excitement. And they're super excited to see your photos.
It's like unwrapping a gift.
Yeah, it's like a gift. And, you know, that experience adds to the experience you're giving your client. So they've done the shoot. They've you know, had the suspense of waiting to see the photos. The product's here. They're super excited. Unwrapping it, they're like getting excited as they're unwrapping it. That's creating more of an experience for them and more suspense, which makes it super exciting. And then they open it up and it's like, oh my God, this is amazing.
Yeah.
And so it really adds to the experience you're giving your client. And it's really not costing you a lot to do that. And, you know, you'll find that people will be like, oh my God, I just say that you get this delivered as a courier. They're not picking it up for you. Oh my God, I just got this. It's wrapped so beautifully. The first thing they're going to do is they're going to tell their friends because they're super excited, or they're going to put it on their social media and stuff like that. And that's great advertising for you. So if you've got your logo on the tissue paper and your branding is there, that's really good for you, like for people to see that. So I just want to show you, I'm just going to lift this print out so I can show you how I actually did this. I'm just going to put that on my lap. So I actually put that piece of tissue across the box and you can see where the wood print has been sitting. But I actually cushioned the bottom of the box with a bit of tissue as well. So you could use tissue paper for that, or we also have shredded paper, which some people like to use. But to be honest, there's not that much in, actually there is the shred. I did use a bit of shred. So that's the shredded paper. I put that in the bottom and then I just put a piece of tissue paper over the top of that. Just to, again, it just heightens your, you know, you're not seeing all this shredded paper everywhere. It's kind of hidden underneath. Gives a bit more upmarket feel, but they don't have all this shredded paper popping out everywhere. And then by putting the tissue in there, and then your print on top. So that fits in there really nicely. I think that's a 300 by 300 box. And the depth of that is a little bit deeper than the wood print, but it also gives you room for your packaging and your, so that's about, it's 50 mil deep.
With the custom printed tissue paper, what sizes are we looking at? Is it a one set size or it goes in a roll?
So it's a full, so a full size sheet is 50 by 70 centimeters. And this is a full size sheet. I'll just pull it out. So that's a full size sheet I've used. So that's the 50 by 70 size. So that's a standard size sheet of tissue. You can get, you know, it can be a single color printed logo. So I've done this in black for us, but, you know, that could be blue, pink, purple, whatever color you need. There's also metallic colors. So it is on our website under tissue paper and you'll see custom printed tissue paper. So it's cheaper to get a white based tissue with your logo printed on it, but we do have a colored based tissue where you can get a logo printed on it as well. It's a bit more expensive to do that, but it is an option for people that want it. And it's 1,000 sheet minimum, which I know sounds like a lot, but in the world of printing custom printed tissue paper, wrapping paper, or anything like that, 1,000 sheets is actually not much at all. When normally the minimums are 10,000 sheets, and that's when you'll be using it more than what you could ever use in your lifetime if you're a small business. So 10,000 sheets is pretty good. So while we're just on that tissue subject, I'm just going to show you this, because you could also be putting your albums in a bag. So we have different bags, but just popping a bit of tissue in with that. So if you've got an album and you're delivering it by hand, they're coming into you, take it out the back, they've had a look at it, pop it in a bag, and then a bit of tissue around that. It's just, you know, you want it to be like a high-end store. You want to give that experience, you know, even if it's little things. Again, you could just pop it in a bag. This is actually a plain bag, and we've used a rubber stamp to stamp that. So that's another idea. This is some tissue that so this is a gold print on this one. So you can see the gold print there. So that's just to show you can have the metallic if you want. It is a little bit more expensive, but again, it depends on your brand and what suits you and your brand. So next I might show you.
Can I just ask Michelle?
Yep.
We have a bit of interest in the large wall art because obviously, you know, they're pretty large to handle,
yep.
and also you want the unveiling of it as well. So how would you package that up?
Okay, so you can probably see I've got my big canvas here. So if you're delivering that in studio or to your client and you're carrying it yourself, if it's going in a car or whatever and you're delivering it, I definitely leave it in the bubble wrap that BPro send it to you in, because for safety, I would hate for anything to happen to it. I've unwrapped mine based on the analogy that you might be delivering it in your studio. So for instance, if someone's coming to you to pick up their canvas, I would take the bubble wrap off and I have that sitting on, I would wrap it. So that's wrapped in brown paper. So basically you can get a nice wide roll from Officeworks actually. And it's a decent wide roll. It's about $20 or $30, I think. And it fits that canvas perfectly. So I'll just show you. You can see how it was wrapped. So it was wide enough to fit and with a turnover at the top and the bottom. So I've just wrapped around the length and put some tape. So then I would just sit that on a easel for when your clients come in, they can undo the ribbon, unwrap it. It's almost like a gift. Again, it's that unveiling, the suspense to actually be receiving that. Don't want to drop it. So basically then they can undo the ribbon, rip open the paper, and then it reveals, you know, again, it's that suspense, the layers of unwrapping for them to actually get that excitement from their canvas. And then if they're taking it home, then just quickly grab the bubble wrap that it came in and pop a bit of tape on it and put it back over just to protect the corners and stuff for them to take it home. Obviously, if you're shipping it, because I know that, you know, you have larger wall arts and things like that. If you're delivering it in the studio, you could do the similar process by putting the ribbon around it. And, you know, if you could wrap it in brown paper if you wanted to. Some people have said to me, look, the brown paper is too hard. It's too much work for me or whatever. They've actually, they've got like some type of cloth that they put over it and then they tie their ribbon over it. So again, it's however your studio works or whatever your system is. If you've got individual things you want to discuss with me, again, you know, we can have a chat about that if you want to.
Just in terms of delivery, Michelle, so we do some drop shipping for our customers, and just looking at your stickers before, an option is if you wanted to order your personalized or customized stickers from Michelle, what you can certainly do is send it across over to us at BPro here, and when we actually drop ship to your customers, once we package it up with the bubble wrap, our numerous layers of bubble wrap, and our cardboard, we can always certainly place your sticker logo on the outside of the cardboard box, so that when your clients, the courier company drops it off or delivers it, they'll recognize it, the name of your studio, and it's just a nicer way to receive it through drop shipping, especially like if you've got customers who are interstate or they've ordered the print and, you know, done an album or canvas or something and they're sending it to the grandparents who aren't local or anything like that. So we're more than happy to do that if that's something you wanted to organise with Michelle.
So like I said before, we have got custom sizes that are on the website, but we can also do custom stickers as well. So if you like, well, I just don't want a boring paper one, I want something a bit more fancy, we have some vinyl, so that's a clear one, whereas this one's a solid one. There's all kinds of different product labels that we can do. So have a chat with me or shoot us an email and say, I want to organise that. And then we would just send those to BPro for you. Or if you order in bulk, we send them to you and you send some to BPro and keep some in your studio. So that's up to you. But that's definitely an awesome idea and a different way that you can add your branding just so you get that instant brand recognition as well. I think that's really important. The other thing, while we're just quickly talking about branding and, you know, that kind of thing, and we also recommend maybe a rubber stamp of your logo. So this is one of our premier pre-inked stamps. I don't know if you can kind of see.
See that, yeah.
Yeah, so you can see the image of the stamp there. So I've just got some paper here, but you could, again, this surface that I'm stamping on is a plastic table, not the best. You need to stamp on a hard surface, but I just want to show you quickly. You can get a nice stamped image of your logo. So you could have your studio name, your website, your phone number, whatever. That could be something you could stamp on the back of your matted prints. Easy to just stamp on the back of there. Again, just be careful when you're stamping. Make sure that you've got it on a nice firm surface. So, and if it's try to stamp down in the corner, not pushing it straight in the middle there, but you know, you'd obviously have a smaller one. You wouldn't have a huge one like we've got. That big one that I've got is good for packaging outside of, you know, parcels and things like that. So
what's the size of that print? What's the size of the stamp there, Michelle?
So this one is, I think this is a 130 by 95 mil stamp. That's the biggest size that we do in a self-inking. But if you have a look on our website under stamps, there's actually a lot of different sizes. I recommend the pre-inked ones because you don't have to worry about an ink pad. You don't have to worry about like carrying an ink pad, cleaning anything, stuff like that. It's just super easy. It's also a soy-based ink, so it's actually an eco-friendly ink, so it's not going to harm anything either.
Would people get multiple sizes of the stamps, or they would sort of just get one that you would use for multiple purposes?
Well, it depends. So some people will have multiple sizes. So if they want, you know, something that's super small that they can just, you know, put, you know, inconspicuously down here, they wouldn't put a big massive stamp on the back of here. But on your packaging, if you're sending something out or you want it to be big, then you want a bigger stamp. So based on where you're putting it and what you're doing with it, I think it's definitely good to have. But maybe start with a small one and think, oh, I think I need a bigger, go for a bit bigger one, you know.
In terms of the ink color, is it only just black, or can you do like multicolored ink? Or somebody was asking, do you have the
so there is different colors to choose from. Yeah. You can't have multicolors in one stamp because obviously the ink comes through and it's got to be one color the whole way. But you can choose blue. I think there's a pink, there's a red, green. It's on the website. There's all the different options, but there's definitely a few options there that you can choose from.
So, and it can be done not just with in terms of the actual wording, but can you actually have logos? Like, you know how people have
yes, you can.
Logos?
Yeah.
So how would you like that? If they were to order it, would you like it as a JPEG or a TIFF file or something like that?
We prefer a vector file if you've got one, so an EPS or something like that, or an AI file, PDF, because we have to convert your file to be able to stamp it. So if, for instance, like with our logo, I won't get too technical, so I don't want to confuse you, but with our logo, you can see our logo here on the tablecloth, that we have multiple colours in our logo. And so for a stamp, we had to convert our logo. We couldn't have the circle because that would have blocked out the text. And we had to convert some things, these letters that were white, to outlines. And then obviously you've got your text at the back. So it just depends. Happy to give you advice. We do this all the time. Send me your logo. I'm wanting to get a stamp made. Can you tell me, if this is okay, if this will work, what should we do, and we can advise you.
And in terms of drying time, is it pretty quick drying? Because obviously, if you've got a whole heap of art mounts or loose prints and things like that, and you're stamping each individual one, sort of thing.
So if it's a porous surface like paper or art mounts or whatever, it would dry pretty much instantly. If you're going to be stamping on anything that's not porous, sometimes it needs to sit there and dry.
So like a wood print or something like that.
If you were stamping on the back of an actual photographic print, like with photo paper, it does dry, but it takes a long time.
Okay.
And it can smudge.
Okay.
So just be mindful of that. If you wanted to put something on the back of a print, I would probably, and you can't wait around for it, just put a sticker on the back.
Yep. Nice and easy and quick as well.
Yeah, a lot easier. And it is a good thing to do, because down the track, they've given that print to grandma, they gave the print to the auntie, and they gave it to the family. And none of those people are going to know that you photographed that. No one's going to know where that came from. And even if they do remember it now, in 5 or 10 years' time, are they going to remember?
That's a good.
And then they want another photo to match that photo to go on their wall, or to go, with the other collection, or with someone's wedding and they want it for their other granddaughter's wedding and they want it to be the same. That's where they might actually contact you. They might actually call you, and if your details are on the back of here, they can go, oh, we'll get XYZ Photography to do that one, and we can have another one like that. So you can get that continuity. That little bit of, outlay for a couple of cents for your sticker is giving you ongoing marketing as well. So it works for you in different ways.
Can we have a look at loose prints, Michelle? Because that's one of the questions we get asked a lot. How do you present loose prints? Yeah, because we normally just provide it in a plastic slip and bubble wrapped again. But yeah, I'm sure there'll be many options you have for us.
So for loose prints, we have a few different options. So I'm getting a pile here in front of me. So if you're doing loose prints, say let's start at 5x7. We'll start with small. If you're doing like some 5x7 prints, we have this little box here. You can fit your 5x7 prints in here, and you can supply your digitals with it. So there's room there for a crystal USB. We also have this same box, and you can order it if you do a timber USB. And it just have a different size little insert here. And you can pop your prints in there, and it's a nice little magnetic closure box. You can buy those one-off. You don't have to buy them in bulk or anything like that. The other thing you can do is we have what we call, so it's in a folder envelopes. So we have these in multiple sizes. So if you're going 5x7, I have got it written on the website what print sizes fit in each of our folders. So if you go to the folder and envelope section, you'll be able to have a look. But this is an A5 folder. That'll fit your 5x7s, and I think from memory that it also fits, this ruler doesn't have any inches on it. I thought I had one with inches, but obviously I don't. I think this one fits 6x8s, but don't hold me to that. It will say on the website. And then you've got your A4 size.
Do you cover the A series, Michelle? Like A4, A5, A3, or?
Yes. So we've got A5, A4, and A3 folders. So, and then we also have a small one that we call a postcard little folder envelope, and that will actually fit your, 6x4 prints in it as well. So just to show you, so this is a 8x10 print, I think, Hong?
Yes, 8x10,
yeah. So whether it's a matted print or a photograph, this is the A4 folder. So it fits in there quite nicely. So you could fit a good like 4, 5 matted prints in there, but you could fit quite a lot if they were just photographic prints. Again, what I would recommend is wrapping that print in a little bit of tissue paper, popping it in. So when they pull it out, it's just giving you that, again, those layers of unwrapping and that kind of thing. So that fits really nicely in the A4. There's also an for the A4 and A5, there's a deeper version. So this is the regular one, and then there's double, I think it's 30 or 20 deep, so double, I think, this size. You can fit more in those. The A3 ones are flat, so you can fit a couple of flat prints in the A3, but you can't fit bulk, and I wouldn't recommend it anyway because it's a bit dangerous for shipping.
Those sachets, when they order it online and they receive it at home, do they have to put it together? And if they do, is it relatively easy?
Yeah,
like you sort of can't go too wrong with it.
Yeah, it's super easy. So this is one of the A4 ones. So it will come to you flat like this. And all of these folders are literally the same. So these little, you push these out, these little bits, and then it's pretty easy to wrap up. Basically, you just fold these side bits in, and then these little tabs just tuck in here and clip into place. You don't need to put any sticky tape. You don't need to do anything with it. And then the top just folds over and fits in there.
And do they come in a range of colours, Michelle?
Black, white, and craft.
Okay, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Craft is the cheapest.
Yep.
The black and white is more expensive. You can just buy one. So if you want to just buy one and test it out and see what works for you, you can just buy one. This one here, we've actually put what we call our paper banding wraps, or a belly band or a belly wrap. Lots of people call them different things. On our website, they're under paper banding wraps, and there's a whole bunch of these, and these are just a paper wrap. You can see we've just put a bit of tape to seal it at the back. But again, it's just a nice way of dressing up your packaging. It's like, I think, $4 for a 5-meter roll of this paper wrap. And you could just wrap that around. This is a timber tag that we can also print for you. We could print this with your logo, or it could say something generic. This is, a photographer has this that says our wedding. So I just borrowed one of those. But we have the foil, metallic cord as well that you can put on there. That's the one here. So this is another one here. So just a rose gold option with paper banding wrap in the rose gold and some metallic ribbon to go with it, and the little many thanks stickers. But this could be your sticker here with your brand on it and your company details, your logo. The paper wrap, I see someone's question there. This paper banding wrap can't be printed with a logo. You can do it, but you've got to print literally tons of meters. Like,
can you print the actual sachets with the logo rather than have the?
So we can actually print the
ribbon. Can we?
Yeah, so we can actually print the physical folder. So we can print your logo down here or up here. We can do from a minimum of 10. It's an extra $4 per folder, and we do it color, like a CMYK color digital print on there for you. But there is an option for that. There is a $50 setup fee for that for the first time that you have your digital print.
And it's $4 every time after.
Yeah, and you need to just order 10 at a time.
Okay, sure.
Yeah. So, but you can get that printed. So that sort of covers like lots of different print options. The other thing we have for prints is we have our print boxes. So for instance, this is one that we have printed with a logo on there. And then I've just opened this because I'm doing this with one hand. So that's our print box. So we have these in, so this is actually an 8 by 12, but obviously hold your, some people that do a USB might put it in a little bag or put that in there with some shred or some tissue, but you can fit a few prints in there. Again, not, sort of, if you're not doing 10 or 20 prints and you're not putting it in like a portfolio box or something like that, you just want a small box, safe way to transport it, you can do that. So we have these boxes in 8 by 12, 11 by 14 and 16 by 20 inch, and there's room around those. So just have a look at the measurements of those online. Here's one. So this is the 11 by 14 print here. Hong sent to me earlier, and that's fits in there comfortably as well. And again, you can have your logo printed on the front of there. Can you fit 5 8 by 10s? Yeah. in an A4 envelope, yeah, I think you would be able to. Again, you can just order one to double check with that. So on our website, most things you can just order one of. And I just recommend to people to order one before you order something in bulk or before you're getting something printed, and just test it out. Put your 5 prints in there, make sure you're happy with it, make sure that you like the sizing and everything, and then go, okay, now I'm going to order them in bulk, or now I'm going to get them printed, or now I'm going to do this. But just test it out first, because there is a deeper envelope, and maybe if it's a bit stretched, you might need to go for the deeper envelope rather than the regular size. But the other thing you can do too is sit all your prints one on top of each other and just get your good old ruler out, measure the depth of it, and then just check the depth of the folder and see whether that is going to fit, whether you maybe need to go for a larger size.
Just to backtrack a little, when we were talking about the large wall art, I think there's a question from Selma, and you had the bags. Do you have any bags that actually fit the really large ones, or they're not made to hold the weight?
They're not made to hold the weight. We do get that question a bit. That is like the biggest size bag that we do. There is a canvas bag that's slightly bigger, but again, like it's probably not an ideal way for people to be holding a canvas and something that's that valuable, because it's still a paper bag. Even if you had a sturdy bag, it's just not easy to hold something that big and hold it up off the ground, like
and just the manual handling of it and things like that.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, yes, if it's smaller products like your timber prints or your like Lumi tiles.
I was going to say, if you had something a little bit heavier, say like a Lumi tile or a wood print, how would you package it up? Because probably thinking the paper bags aren't as sturdy, or not as sturdy as it can be.
They would hold the Lumi tiles for sure. And I'll put one in and show you in a second. But before we do that, let me just talk about the Lumi tiles for a second. Seeing where
they are quite heavy. That's why. Yeah,
they are quite heavy, but they're not super cumbersome, so they will actually be supported okay in those bags. But I'll show you in a second so you can see how it holds up. So this is what size Lumi tile is this one?
That Lumi tile was the square ones are 10 by 10 centimeters, and that one there is a 13 by 18 centimeter. So
basically, this was the box that it comes in from B Pro. So basically, your basic brown box, but there's nothing wrong with this box.
So and you can dress it up with a ribbon or something? Like
exactly. So what I've done is I've basically taken that straight out of there. If you were handing it over in the studio, you could put it into a nice cloth bag, and we can also print your logo on these bags, which is another option if you're wanting to go down that track. It can be a little bit costly, but it is an option. The other thing is what people will reuse the bag if it's got a logo or something printed on it. And quite often we send some of our products out in a printed bag, and I'll see people pull it out of their handbag at some photography events and they've reused it for something. So again, it's ongoing marketing for you. So basically this is the box, exactly the same as this one. So this was for the little Lumi tile, which again, I've also put into this. So this is our small cloth bag. So not the extra small. So there's a few different sizes, but again, just look at the measurements. It's quite easy to work out to do that. So, you could hand it over that way. Or the packaging that they come in, it's really quite nice. And this is just the 25mm ribbon, and I've tied it around in the traditional manner, like I said before, like a present with the crossover and a bow at the top. And I think that looks really pretty. That could be sitting on there. You could put a little logo sticker on here with your logo, or on the back. One thing I will mention to you, don't try and stamp on a box like this. It's already made up. Big alarm bells. It won't stamp properly because this is bendy. It's not flat and it's not hard. If you need a stamp on a box or some kind of packaging, it needs to be flat. And because this is glued at the side. Sorry?
Would you be able to use, if you ordered a stamp, would you be able to use it on those loose arch mount folders?
Yes, you would, but you would stamp it when it's flat.
Before you fold it up?
100%, yes.
Okay.
If you try to stamp your logo on something like this, it flexes.
Okay.
And when you try to stamp it, you won't get a good impression. Then you'll ruin the box, and you only got one because it came with the Lumi tile in it. And then you'll be, So don't try and stamp these. Pop a sticker on it if you want to put your branding on the box, on the outside of the box. Tie some ribbon around like that. I think that's a really nice presentation that looks pretty. So we have lots of.
Can you stamp the bag? Can you stamp the bag?
You can stamp the bag. And lots of people do stamp the bag. So you can try, again, if you've got a stamp, you can order these. You can just order one of these on their own, unbranded. Give it a go, see if you like it. It is a kind of rustic look, though. So depending on your studio and your branding, whether you're that rustic kind of business, where that suits, if you have that look, then that's good for you. If not, then that might not work for you. So just depends on your branding. But again, let's just test these out. So I've got 2 Lumi tiles here. Now this is a large bag, but I'm just going to put these in. That's a fair bit of weight.
It is, yeah. They are quite heavy.
So you can see when you lift that up, it has dropped the bottom of the bag down a smidge. However, there's no risk of that breaking. That's quite sturdy, and there's not a problem with that going to your client. Like the bag's not going to break. You could actually go down a size in the bag. The bag's probably a bit big. But just so that you know the weight-wise, that you can actually put an album in there. They're not going to be carrying that around in there for ages. Yeah. They're only going to be taking it like from your studio to the car and to the house. They're not keeping it in there. And the little bags.
Just time-wise, Michelle, just so that I think everybody's probably got things they need to get on with. So we've got about 5 minutes. Can we talk about if you were to package multiple items together? Would you do it like the one big box, or do the individual ones and just tie a big ribbon around it or something?
Depends how the boxes sit together. If you, for instance, had, so say for instance, we've got these 2 boxes here, and then we've got, maybe you've got something else and it kind of fits together nicely. Like this fits together quite well. You could do one bow across the whole lot if you wanted to. But if you had different items of different sizes, so say you had the larger box with the wood print in it, and then you got a Lumi tile, and it doesn't all kind of fit together. If you've got all rectangles, put them together. If you've got all squares and you can put them together, then put them together. But if you've got a mixture, then it's a bit hard to wrap it all together, and it will look a bit cumbersome. And when they're trying to unwrap it, it just might not give. Just think about the experience that you're going to give when they're trying to unwrap that. And then if they undo the bow, are they all going to slide off on their lap? Or so just, I guess, think about that.
A good question we've got is we have what's called our collections. So it's named after the cities of Australia, and it'll be like maybe 5 or 6 pieces of canvases in a collection. Most of them would be one large one and 2 or 3 smaller ones. How would you package that up? Would you do it individually, or how would you do that, or wrap each one in like
depending
a
on how big and cumbersome it is? Like if it wasn't bigger than that and you were stacking it together, you could wrap them together. I don't see a problem with that. You would want to leave some bubble wrap in between each, so you didn't get any canvases rubbing on the other canvases or causing any issues if you got the back of canvas on the front of another one. Just be mindful of that, or put 2 faces together. But you could actually package them together. I can see someone's asking that they've got a wood collection of 5 wooden blocks. And
that's the collections I was talking about, where you get a collection of 5 canvas or a collection of 5 wood prints or something. How would you package it up? Because it all belongs together, sort of thing.
So again, you might not be able to get a box like to put 5 in. That just might be too big, too heavy, too much pressure on those. So I would be careful. If they're smaller though, if they're, smaller sizes and you're putting them together, that's a possibility. You would really, I'd need to look at the sizing and see whether I would recommend doing that. I get that you probably don't want to buy 5 boxes though. I get that.
If they were to get a collection, and if they have any concerns about packaging, they can always just drop you an email. You can give them recommendations.
For sure. Yeah, definitely. Like I physically know some of your products, but not all of them. So I can kind of visually tell you, but you know, it may just be a phone call to us to just double check, you know, I've got this size and this size. What would you do? That box there was actually a little bit deeper, so you could possibly put 2 round prints in that one.
Okay.
So if you had a collection of 4, maybe you would only need to get 3 boxes.
Yeah, 1 for the large one.
A collection of 5, sorry.
Yeah. So 1 for the large one and two smaller ones in each box or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just reading some of the questions here.
They're
the custom stickers listed under for having the logo. They're custom logo seals. So on the website, they have their own section. And then there's another section that just has the pre-printed ones. Again, if you get stuck, send us an email to info@bespokepackaging.biz and we can send you a link if you can't find it. How are we going for questions?
Okay, I was going to say, I think it is time, Michelle.
Yeah.
So thank you very much for all of this. In terms of any of the products that you've seen today, please contact us here at BPro and myself and the team will get back to you. Especially, I think, you were asking about the wall, the large canvas that Michelle has wrapped up nicely there. I'll get back to you about that. And in terms of specific packaging and custom stickers and things like that, please email Michelle. And any last questions, please drop us a message in the chat and we will get back to you guys and everything. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
We'll also we'll send out an email with the recording of this if you wanted to go back and view some of the products.
Awesome. And thank you so much for joining us, everyone. And yeah, we're here to help. So it's myself in the office, Tina, and my son, Jet. So if anyone has questions, you know, you can give us a call. But also you can send us an email and we can definitely help you out. So that's what we're here for. We've done this for 8 years now, so we're quite experienced in knowing what works and what doesn't work. So,
oh, one last question before you go. You were talking about ribbons and everything like that.
Yep.
They're quite fiddly to tie, and if you're anything like me, I could never get them perfect. Do you do custom tied ribbons or something like that?
You can actually buy them. You need to order them in bulk, but we can actually do a ribbon tied on an elastic, but you need to order them in bulk, and we would get them done in our factory in China. If you have a look at my YouTube channel, there is a video of me showing you how to tie a bow if you need help. It can be a bit fiddly and you need to sort of play with it a bit, but definitely practice. So get yourself some crappy ribbon that you don't care if you're scrunching it up. One thing with the printed ribbon, if you have like a gold foil print or a silver foil print and you're tying and untying it a lot, it can wear the print. It's designed for single use, really. So practice on something else.
Plain ribbon. Yeah. Okay, I'll be on your YouTube channel, Michelle, practicing my ribbon tying.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, guys. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. It's been fantastic, and I hope I've answered everyone's questions. And yeah, see you later.
Bye,
Thank you so much.
Okay,
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. Again, any questions we haven't answered, Michelle will get back to you in terms of packaging, and myself and the team will get back to you for any product questions. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, Hong.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Michelle. Bye.
Bye.